This is the 302nd episode of CloudFocus Weekly for the third week of March 2019. This episode is titled, So Many Trails! CloudFocus Week is brought to you by Arkus, and we are hiring if you're a Salesforce consultant or admin who want to be part of a unique and growing company. Send your resume to careers@arkusinc.com. Also, if you'd like to have me mispronounce your name for the next 5 to 10 years, also send your resume to careers@arkusinc.com. I'm your host, Jason Atwood, and joining me, co-host with the most, 302 times. Look at us, podcasting, Justin Edelstein.
Cackle, cackle.
Trying
to get my pick of the week here.
Oh, yes.
What do you think of that one?
That's a pretty good one. Well, let's get to it. Don't have a ton of stuff. We did say we'd come in and talk about some other things. We don't have a ton of time today. We're time restraint. So we're not going to do a lot. We're just going to talk about some Trailhead news. Oh, that's some quick bait.
Yeah.
Quick baity. First of all, well, I guess we could bring this in. This will be a good segue. So I wrote a blog post.
You did?
I've actually written 3 this year already. For some reason, I got a lot of blogging in me. So I wrote it sort of at the end of the last year. I've written one every year. Maybe this is the 8th one, and it's called Cloud Computing Predictions for 2019. And I made some predictions.
Very bold.
I made some predictions, and I think I'm looking at literally 3 of them are just not going to happen. We'll definitely have lots of news to talk about next week because Apple's releasing what I think will be something we're both going to be pretty interested in, which is a streaming service
thing.
So we can come back and talk about that next time, maybe. But anyway, one of my predictions was MyTrailhead gets stuck. So
guess what?
I know. Well,
eat it.
Well, so in my prediction, I was like, you know what? I think I just felt like this thing, just too many fits and starts. It was so long ago they announced it. Watching them talk about it at TrailheadDX. They talked about it at Dreamforce 2 years ago. Then they talked about TrailheadDX the next spring. But then the next time they kind of boop boop put it away. They didn't talk about
that whole my Salesforce stuff. Right? Remember, it was all my this, my that, my the other.
My Einstein?
All of it. And it was my Salesforce. And my Trailhead was a part of that.
So anyway, I predicted that it kind of maybe would just not come out or maybe we get delayed till next year. But guess what?
It's here.
Once in a while.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong.
I love it. I love when you're wrong.
It was a confidence 8 too.
Oh,
man.
You were so confident and you were so wrong. Oh, I get so much pleasure out of that.
It's a little strange that you get that much pleasure out of it, but if that's what you need to get pleasure.
You being wrong is so right.
Is there a headset you can... All right, so
you being wrong is so right
and
for
it's
the world.
In reality. It's in
regular
for the real reality.
World.
It's in reality.
Really?
Really. All right. So anyway, they announced it. MyTrailhead GA up on. You can go to Trailhead, and then you can go to MyTrailhead. There's a little thing, and you can get started, which is where you fill out a form to have someone contact you.
Right.
But this morning, I was.
It actually says for companies.
Yes.
Right. On Trailhead.com,
yeah.
There's the headers are different now, and it's for companies.
This is for companies.
MyTrailhead.
Trail Tracker.
Trail
Tracker. Free. Go for it. You should install that. That's pretty cool.
It works.
It works
I like
great.
it.
We use it at Arkus.
We like it.
So for those of you who maybe weren't around when they announced Trailhead, why don't you take a gander and tell me what MyTrailhead is without reading? Because why don't you tell me what it is?
I have to do this without reading?
Yeah, you got to look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes, Justin.
I don't like you that much. I don't really.
I admitted I was wrong.
Okay, fine.
You're still reading.
I'm not reading. So, MyTrailhead is well, I have to look at this microphone.
No, you don't.
I have to.
No, the microphone's in front of you.
I need to.
Keep your eyes up here.
Where?
Eyes up here, man.
Where?
Eyes up here. Don't look at my microphone.
I can't. Your mic is just too.
Nope. Don't do it.
All right.
We don't need bleeping in this episode because you were gonna say bulbous.
So. It is though. It's anyway.
All right, move on.
Yeah, so MyTrailhead's the ability to create and publish your own content for your organization into Trailhead and mix it into what is being curated and created by Salesforce and being put up onto the platform, and your own internal content, such as like, policies, procedures, how to do things within your company,
employee handbook.
Yeah, anything that requires any sort of ongoing learning or education. What it isn't is a learning management system. We know that about Trailhead already. It's more of like a learning experience than an LMS,
right,
so to speak. But what I kind of found cool about it was that it mixes the two. So you don't have to create the generic like CRM basics. You get that.
Right.
But then you can layer into that your own, well, there's the basics. Here's our customizations. Here's how we use this. And you just saw how it's like, generally speaking, like the features, you walk through it, you might have gone through a playground and, added a field if you're an admin, or maybe just built a report if you're a sales manager, something like that. And now these are our fields. This is what we report on. This is what we care about. And the mix of the two makes it intriguing and interesting for organizations that are all about continuously educating employees and keeping people up to date on the things that are happening within both your company and within your technology platform that you're using.
Super, super cool idea. When we learned about it years ago, again, we've kind of been very close to this product for years now. And I would say I in a lot of ways, I love this product. I love MyTrailhead. I was so excited when they announced it, and I was so excited for them to make it go GA 2 years later. But a couple things have happened in the last 2 years that I guess are a little, I don't know, maybe disappointing. Maybe it's just like when you wait for something for so long. And again, there's this thing with companies doing this now. It could be its own podcast. Won't do it. But there's something about like, hey, we're going to make this thing and release it 2 years later. And I find that some companies are better at it than others. Some still falter at this. But anyway, so here's MyTrailhead. And there's the answers I always really wanted. The two answers I wanted were, how do you do it? Like, what's the tool to get the data in?
Right.
And then how much is it going to cost? Because this thing is I've seen lots of products come and go in the Salesforce ecosystem. And I'm always comparing it to like, well, how does this thing fit within this cost or this other third-party app, or, watching the debacle of work.com come and go. So I was kind of excited, and I was expecting them to be creative on both fronts, both the how you get data into it and how it's priced. Because I really thought they wanted to make this because Trailhead's so big, I thought they wanted to make MyTrailhead like this massive thing. I don't think that's what they want to do. I went through the help documentation this morning because I was like, let me just dig in, because I got some previews to some inside channels of how it's going to happen. I kind of lost my mind. I said, you're really not going to make us have a version control for this stuff, are you? And well, yeah, you are. This is not, I'm not going to say fun because I haven't used it, but not easy. Like, you have to have version control for your content.
Hold on.
Yeah?
You haven't used it.
No.
So let's
I just read over the help documents to say how to do it.
Yeah,
Can I learn how to do it just by reading the help documents? Not a Trailhead. I want to look at the help documents. Do this, hit here, go here.
Right. But did you have the thing open to do this, go here?
I can't because I don't own it.
So,
right. I've like from a year and a half ago, I talked to the person about it. They told me how it was going to work. So for like a half an hour. So that's been battling around in my brain. Then I went to actually see, like, okay, in the help, show me the steps. Just again, after going through 10 or 15 different help documents, I can tell you it's not easy. Again, you can read some things and you can go, this is easy, and so you read some things. I've been reading help documents, Salesforce help documents, for enough to know There's the easy stuff, and then there's like the not easy stuff. And this felt not easy. That's one concern. I haven't used it, so maybe it's easier than I think. It does feel like there's going to be a learning curve to getting your data in there, and it's not what you would expect, which is a WYSIWYG editor, go in, a click, build some stuff, publish. It's not that. It's just not. It's a lot of exporting, zipping up files, putting them up into source control, doing replication, stuff that you're like, it's so un-Salesforce, it's not even funny. Then there's the price. Do you know what the price is?
I believe it's $25 a user a month.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's a little high.
Why? What do you think? What does high mean to you?
I mean, $25 a user a month. I guess if you're creating a boatload of content for people and running your entire organizational ongoing education process on it, then I guess it's not that bad. But in terms of scaling up to, let's just say, 100-person company, not even like 1,000-person company, but 100,
right?
That's mucho dinero.
And comparing to the other thing, like
well,
I was
comparing to the actual cost of the Salesforce license,
right.
It's disproportionately a large percentage of the actual cost of using Salesforce.
And you have to compare it to the cost of Trailhead,
which is free.
Yeah, so that's part I think that's tough, because when you give something away for free, and again, there's reasons why Trailhead is not altruistic. They want people to learn about this platform, so they built this platform to learn about the platform, because they found out that it was hard for people to get into the system, because it's just, where do you go to learn?
I mean,
and they couldn't scale the classroom stuff very well, and they couldn't scale the online, so they're like, let's make this free, fun platform to learn. Great. Trailhead obviously has taken over the world, or taken over the Salesforce world, as we know, Astro and his buddies. But I'm just disappointed. I'm not like outraged, because this is a Salesforce playbook move from the get. Like, hey, you want me to sell you your $35 per user per month mobile access? Because I could sell it to you. Do you want me to sell you work.com for $19 per user per month? I could sell you that too. This is what they do. They take a product that is that's come out, right? And it feels like, and I don't know, I'm not in the company, not talking to them. Mark and I aren't, chit-chatting. And then they basically put it out there for the high adopters, the people who have the money, or the big companies that are willing to pay for it, and they're replacing something that they see the high value in. So they're like, okay. And then they recoup their costs, right? They've spent 2 years of developing this thing, and it's taken a lot of developer hours and money and people and whatever. And so they got to recoup some of that back.
Yeah.
And then once they've gotten everybody who's going to buy it, straight up buy it, then they'll go.
And they make it free. This has happened over and over and over.
Tier it.
I can just go back in the history, in the annals of time, and think back to sitting at a Dreamforce keynote, one of the good ones back in the day.
Oh, so grumpy. Wait, we checked the Justometer today?
No, we're good. It was the one where they launched Chatter, I believe. It was whatever the year that was. Well,
content.
It was content. Remember, content.
$35.
Content's a big, right? $35 per user per month. And it's like, do we pay for that? Really? Or like, what is the deal? And all of a sudden, they announced Chatter, and they realized that, oh, darn, people are going to be uploading files to this thing. We need to make content free. So all of a sudden, content became free. Remember when Ideas was something that you paid for? Ideas was a thing that you actually paid for. You wanted to use Salesforce Ideas? Okay, pay for it. Per user, per month. Ideas. Insanity.
Think is about that. A little insane. Right. So, well, now we know.
Just wait. Just wait a couple years. Wait for all of the, they're going to iron out all the kinks in the code and make it work really well. And then they won't have sold a whole lot of it, because only the super, super big companies that are getting super high discounts anyway are going to be able to afford it. And then they'll be like, oh, we need to make this either cheaper or free.
Right. I think I think what they should do is tier it. I'm surprised they didn't tier this. They usually have good, better, best.
They should have given you the ability to have one free MyTrailhead.
Something. Whatever that means.
Literally one free trail. Like one free trail.
One piece of content. I can tell you why they didn't.
One module, like whatever it is, like give me a module, give me a project, give me a trail, give me a something that I can do for free and see what it is.
And the reason they didn't is because of the complexity of publishing one. Because it's not, again, if it were that easy, right, they would have made a $5 version.
Yeah, but who's gonna buy the thing? They have to, people who technology, they're gonna be like, okay, I want to try it because you know you're Salesforce and I get to try it before I buy it, right? I get
Sometimes.
to sign. No, always. I get to sign up for a free 30-day trial. I could go tomorrow with a new email address and sign up for an org. By the way, I can also just sign up for Trailhead for free, log into my playground and play around with in there for free and see if it will meet my needs. So oftentimes, technology buyer is going to be like, hold on a second. I got a lot of users here. I want to use this thing, but I need to know how it works and I need to really try it before I buy it.
So
Maybe that'll be a thing. I don't know. We don't know anything. This came out like last week.
Well,
we don't
but
know
I do
that
know
much.
a lot.
Yeah, but we don't know much about the business model.
Oh, no, not the business
We
model.
know nothing about it. No. We know nothing about who's even selling it. Like, I feel like it probably has its own sales team.
Oh, please hope not.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Anyway, it just from the get, this is a product I think the issue of doing a pre-announcement of something is that for a year and a half or 2 years, I've had this like kind of concept of what it's going to be. I thought it'd be this easy to use, WYSIWYG thing, and you could just build stuff. And we do tons of internal training here at Arkus, and we had this on our roadmap. We were like, we're going to build into MyTrailhead. We talked about it, talking about our onboarding process.
A year and a half ago.
3 years ago, even when we heard about it being built.
A year and a half ago, we said last year we were going to build our onboarding into MyTrailhead, and then it just never came out.
But then it didn't come out, and now I wouldn't.
Not for $25 a user.
All right. Well, there goes our world. Have someone call us and tell us why we're wrong. I'll get hate email. And then this is the episode that got us the most trouble of 2019.
I don't think so.
All right, so let's talk.
We'll get in trouble later.
Let's talk TDX. So registration for TDX is open.
TrailheadDX.
Yes.
You registered?
I did. I'm going to go.
Me too. How about that? I registered and I'm going to go.
Yeah, I'm excited. We might, Arkus might have some news in and around that time. Maybe not. But I'm excited. I know you personally because I know you and I've talked to you about 1,000 times.
You don't know me.
I do.
Look at this bracelet. You don't know me.
This bracelet means I know you.
This bracelet says you don't know me.
I will say that you generally like this more than Dreamforce now.
If you were to say, Justin, you can only go to one of the two.
You can go as many as you want.
Justin, you can only go to one of the two.
You can go anything you want.
Justin, you can only go to one.
Yeah, go to one. You can only go to one.
I'm going to this one.
Just this one.
Just this one.
All right.
Not Dreamforce. Dreamforce has become overwhelming. It's become just a Kool-Aid factory. It's become like more of a marketing event than anything else event.
Right.
And to be honest, I don't need to see fake stories.
Oh, man.
Come on.
I know.
Everyone knows when they're sitting there in those keynote. Remember when I said the good keynote? Yeah. When they launched the chatter and said, and log in and use it.
Right.
And it's on. Like, they used to do that all the time. It was the most fun thing. And go use it. Go home tomorrow. Or and they announced the new mobile. It's like, and download it now. Right. Go to the App Store and download it.
I remember when they announced the new mobile and it was right there and you could literally go and download it that instant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you see augmented reality Coke machines. And
that was years ago.
Or buying a yacht in Arizona from a tweet. Come on, guys. Like, come on with a little bit of a better, like, use case or something. I mean, you know, the nonprofit stories are always good and heartwarming and pull at the heartstrings, or tug at them, whatever. But the rest of the, to me, it was always about the keynote, and it was always about keynotes. There were 3 always, and they were awesome. There was like a how's Salesforce doing, and then there was a here's our product, and now let's inspire you.
Right.
And those were the 3. Now it's like, let's have 12 keynotes going on at the same time every day about like every little aspect of this platform. And it's become really hard to focus at Dreamforce and really hard to pick your spots. And
Well, that's why TDX is around.
yeah,
Smaller,
I think TDX is so much better, so much more focused, so
cheaper.
much smaller, cheaper, shorter. Like, it's not a whole week-long thing. It's 2 days.
unless you want to do the boot camps.
Yeah, fine. Tack a boot camp on. Get some certs. Like, do your thing. It's all about learning. And I think that that's great. And there's still the networking aspect to it, which is always awesome. Seeing people that you don't see all the time. You know, nice family reunion.
But I've noticed that when I
think
talk
that
to
this is
people,
great.
when I talk to people about, you know, TDX now, it's not as, it's like, hey, I asked someone on LinkedIn today, I was like, hey, are you going? Versus like Dreamforce, you just assume everybody's going. And now it's like, oh, you're going to go to this. It'd be interesting. Again, we've made a little change in our policies here at Arkus that we're kind of giving more choice to different types of events. So we'll see kind of who picks what this year. Are people going to want to go to one? They're going to want to go to both. They're going to want to go to neither one. I'm predicting a massive drop-off in Dreamforce
Me too.
And a massive influx of TDX. Because it's just the new kid on the block. I mean, it's been around 3-4 years, but it's not Dreamforce's 15-16 years.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of Arkus folks that have been to Trailhead DX.
Yeah.
And I know like one in particular, I was like, oh, are you planning on going to TDX? And she was like, no,
I don't want to go again.
I don't want to go
Went
again.
last year, didn't
Went
want to
last year, not my learning style.
It is very, I would say, for people who want to go, it feels like a very small Dreamforce. They usually hold it in one of the Mosconis. So, you know, I think West did it last year.
Yeah.
Maybe it's in West this year again. So yeah, I mean, it is smaller. It is nicer that way. So the city doesn't feel as insane, but it doesn't feel as insane. And that's kind of the fun part of a Dreamforce is the insanity of it and the millions of hotels and the sessions everywhere and just the swamps of people.
I prefer this.
Yeah.
Much more.
But this to me is their way of scaling Dreamforce is they're just making Dreamforce more and more expensive. And then they're throwing in this other thing, and I think people are making their choice. They're going, oh, you know what? I'll just go to Trailhead DX.
Yeah, why not?
I don't need to go to both.
Well, it depends on who you are, what your job function is, and what your role is at whatever company it is that you work for. Because if you're working at a company and you're selling Salesforce, meaning you work at a company like Arkus and you're selling services, you're going to want to go Dreamforce.
Right. That's where everybody is.
Yes, that's where people are.
If you're an admin,
if you're an admin, if you're a developer, if you're getting your hands dirty, if you're a consultant, you want to go to TDX.
Yeah. I would want them to split out TDX. That my thing would be, and again, we used to say the whole cool thing about Dreamforce was it was everybody. It was partners. It was customers. It was nonprofits. It was developers. It was admins. It was everybody. Yeah. And this is kind of a split. This is kind of saying this is admins and developers. I think the next split is splitting admins and developers.
But it was conceived as a developer conference.
Right.
Year one, it was supposed to be just a develop, but they realized, wait, we don't have enough content for that first, and then there's going to be admins who show up here, so we need some admin. We need
admin-y stuff. So it is now an admin developer conference, and again, the line in Salesforce of what a developer is and what an admin is
very
difficult.
Blurry.
It's very blurry. Like where do you put it?
If you write a formula,
right?
Did you write code or not?
Flows, processes, workflows. It just gets into a thing. Yes, if you're writing Apex, you're a developer. But if you're modifying someone else's Apex, copying and pasting from an answer, I don't know. Anyway, so it'll be interesting. We'll be there. We'll probably talk about it. It's in May. So go to, I think you should just Google it.
Just Google Trailhead.
Trailhead DX. Remember,
DX.
the second D is silent.
I don't even know how to spell it. Just put TDX in there.
TDX and go for it. All right. Let's do a quick pick of the week.
Yeah, okay.
What's your pick of the week?
Peloton.
You bought a Peloton?
No.
Oh, so you're not picking the bike?
I'm picking the whole thing as an experience.
You didn't know that I would kind of call you out on that, but okay.
All right.
Where is your Peloton?
It's in the gym in my building.
Oh, that's awesome. Where do you
I
live
live
again?
in this building. There's this other guy who lives in the building.
Tell me about it. Is he wrong once a year?
He's wrong once a year.
Yeah.
And he hasn't tried the Peloton to my knowledge.
Totally true. If you're talking about the right guy.
I'm talking about you.
Aw. All right, go ahead. Tell me what a Peloton
Anyway,
is.
so-
If I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, so
which I do, clearly.
there's a couple of things to a Peloton. First, there's hardware to it.
Yes.
There's a bike.
Yep.
It is a spin bike. They also have treadmills. And the bike has a big screen in front of it, like bigger than this 15-inch MacBook screen. So
Yep.
decent sized screen. And you can either join live spin classes, or they basically record them all and then make them available on demand. So you can just go and bang out a 30-minute spin class whenever you want on this Peloton bike. And it has a really good mobile app, and it tracks all your progress and all that stuff. You can go in, find the courses or classes that you want to do beforehand, bookmark them so that when you get to the bike, you sign in and all your stuff is right there. And it is, I'll tell you, I went to a spin class like 3 years ago and hated it and never went back, but I really enjoy doing it on the Peloton bike. And I really enjoy like browsing through the app and finding the classes that I like and looking for different instructors and different class types, like climbs or theme rides. Like, I don't know, the other day I did a Rolling Stones ride. It was just 30 minutes of Rolling Stones music, and I loved it. Totally into the Peloton right now. Price varies because depends if you're buying a bike or if you're just buying a membership or if you're, what you're using it for. So don't know what the price actually would be if you wanted to go buy your own exercise bike and put it in your basement or your garage or whatever. I think it's like upwards of $2,500 or something.
It's not a.
It's not inexpensive. I am literally talking about using the thing,
right,
and the app on my phone and the app on the thing that is connected, which I really enjoy. You can go to onepeloton.com. That's spelled out one, O-N-E.
Right.
Peloton.com and check it out. My favorite instructor is Hannah, for the record.
All right, we didn't need to go there.
She's great. She's very positive. She reminds you about your form. She lets you know, like, if things are getting spicy, it's okay.
It's getting spicy.
Things might get juicy. Things might get spicy. It's all good.
That's funny. I'll make a quick pick. I actually, speaking of the disappointment level, I went in. I was like, oh, it's a good time to remind people you can download Salesforce Events, which is the app on the iPhone.
Right.
They just updated it. So I was like, oh, it just updated. That's cool. I was like, oh, because of Trailhead DX, you want to have the event. It tells you where the things are. It tells you all the maps. Doesn't have DX in it yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
I think that's because they just opened the registration for it, and they don't have much else on that website. If you look at it, there's no real agenda, nothing really there. It's just like, register.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will. So Salesforce Events, 0. Download it.
Zero? You just give it a zero?
$0.
Oh,
No.
$0.
Wait for it to
Gotcha.
come. Wait till it have TDX. It's a good thing to do. All right, as always, you can follow us on Twitter, just Edelstein, Jason Matwood. You follow the company, Arkus Inc. We're in all the community blogs. We're in the LinkedIn. We're out of Google+. We're out. Google+ is
We're
over.
out of Facebook, too.
We're out of Facebook, too. And subscribe
Officially.
in a ton of places. Actually, if you go to the website, arkusinc.com/podcast, there's tons. We have tons of places that we
And the
have
app.
it. And the app. We have an app now. Got so many things. All right, we'll be back whenever.
By the way, this
Yeah.
is 1 month from the last day we did this.
Excellent.
So,
So far, we're on record.
CloudFocus Monthly.
Here we go. We'll be back. And as always, it's Justin and Jason saying, enjoy those cloudy days.